Hey guys, as many of you know, I was doing a Project 20 whereupon I would read 20 books and then I'd be allowed to buy some books. I'm sad to say that I did not complete Project 20, but I did complete Project 10. I'm still pretty proud of the fact that I read 10 books and then bought a book. Or bought a few books at least, but I'm still proud nonetheless, and I have got a haul of all the books that I have bought. The first book I got was Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, originally by Jane Austen, but rewritten with zombies by Seth Graham Smith. And this is one that I originally wanted. When I got Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters, I was looking mainly for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, and I am so glad that I found this one in a charity shop. It's basically what it says on the tin. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Oh my god, like, how awesome can that be? I mean, to be honest, I read half of Pride and Prejudice and I didn't really like it. I'm gonna try and give it another try sometime. Probably not soon. Probably sometime in the very far future, but I wonder if reading it from a different perspective or a different theme will make it any more interesting for me. We'll see. Next is A Short History of Tractors in Ukrainian by Marina Luica. Now, I have read another one of her books, which is Various Pets Alive and Dead, and I found the humour to be really witty and funny, and I just absolutely loved it, and I loved her style of writing. And my dad was actually one that told me about this book when he saw that I'd bought the other book, and seeing as I saw it again in a charity shop, I decided that what better excuse to pick this one up. Her books tend to be about the everyday things and just finding humour in morals, and the cover design is actually really cool as well. It actually looks as though it's made on recycled paper because it's got like the little bits in there, and like it's all kind of like, you know, the fluffy kind of feeling you get on recycled paper. It's kind of got that, and the simple kind of printed graphics on it really add to that kind of recycled feel. I've got Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer. Now, I have got Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by the same author, of which I am yet to read. I don't know which one I'm going to read first though. This is one that Ophelia Dagger always seems to mention in her favourites, so I always trust her opinion, and she reads the greatest books, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. Next, I've got Dead Until Dark by Charlene Harris. Now, this is the book series that the TV show True Blood is based on. Now, a little while back I saw about half a dozen episodes of it and I quite enjoyed it, and I have no idea why I actually stopped watching it, but I decided, seeing as I saw it in a charity shop, to just pick this book up and see what it's like. I know it's like another series that's got, I don't know, 6-7 books in it, and I really shouldn't be reading any more series anytime soon, but doesn't necessarily mean I can carry on with it if I don't like it. But hopefully I will like it, because it just seems like it's something that I don't normally read. I haven't read a vampire book really since Twilight, and even then I wouldn't really call that a vampire book, but I'm really excited to see a different take on the actual genre of vampires. Talking about vampires, Ben from Benjamin Atomes made me get Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. And again, this is the first book in a series of about 7 to 12, or I don't know really, I haven't really looked it up, books. Again, with the vampire things, I am really looking forward to reading this one, as everyone seems to absolutely love it. But then again, when everybody absolutely seems to love a book, I tend to hate it with a passion. So we will see how we end up with this one. Next is The #1 Ladies Detective Agency by Alexander McCall Smith. I found this book originally when I was watching one of Lorraine Bautista's videos, and she featured it and said that she really enjoyed it. It does sound like a really interesting read. It's one of those books that does what it says on the tin pretty much. It's about a detective agency, but it's set in Africa as far as I'm aware. I'm not entirely sure story-wise, but I am really interested to actually read this one. And last but not least, we have It's a Funny Kind of... oh, no. It's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini. Now, this has actually been lent to me by Elise over at Elise and Her Books. I saw the film before I've actually read this, and I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was really good. I knew that this book had been made into a film, but it'd been so long since I'd actually heard about it that when I saw the film I forgot that it was actually a book until I actually read the description of it, and I was like, oh my god, that's actually a book, and I actually really want to read that book, because at the time it was actually on my wish list. So I'm really pumped to actually read this, just to see if it's better or worse than the film, and it just is a really interesting story. It's about a boy who's suicidal and he ends up going to a mental hospital. It's a book about growing up, and it's just one of those ones that I've been wanting to read for a while, but have never really wanted to pick up, so I'm really glad that I've got it now, and I will read it soon, hopefully. Anyways, I got all those books from charity shops and secondhand bookstores, as I probably said in the video anyways, so it's not as if they were expensive. I probably spent about £10 on all of those books all together. So personally, I think that that is a pretty good bargain. But BookTube has certainly ruined my bank account in the ways that I see a book featured, somebody absolutely raves about it, that I respect the opinion of and tends to like the same books as me. So I go and buy it because I can. That probably isn't the best thing for me to do, is it? No. Hopefully I'll actually get to read some of these sometime soon, instead of leaving them in my big clogged up to be read pile along with all the other books that I've hauled and have never read. So yes, they will get read eventually, probably in about 2 years' time. I don't know, I've got a backlog to fix. I hope you're having a lovely day. Bye! What does the fox say?